Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the, excuse me, regular meeting of the Swanton Village Board of Trustees for October 11th. Hope everybody had a good holiday yesterday. And first order of business will be to pledge allegiance to our flag. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Public comment. Do we have anybody on Zoom?
Just Lynn,
Just Lynn?
or not just Lynn, but Lynn is on.
No,
Sorry,
no,
Lynn.
She's not public.
That's okay.
You understand, Chris?
Public comment.
Agenda review,
Huh?
agenda review.
Oh, agenda review, sorry. Jumping ahead here. Trying to gain that 30 seconds and I stalled. Any revisions to the agenda this evening? Adams?
No, sir.
No?
No, sir.
Okay. I see we have one executive session to discuss personnel,
That's okay.
so no other revisions? Looks like,
Sorry. I should have an updated agenda that says personnel and real estate.
uh,
Do you not have that one in front of you?
personnel and real estate?
I don't have it.
I did an updated agenda and I added real estate to our executive session, as well as personnel. And that can't be, I printed the new one for you guys, so sorry about that.
Okay.
Okay. Good enough. Anything else?
No.
Okay, now public comment. Would you like to say anything? Yeah, I know you're gonna say something later, but
No, later's fine, thank you.
okay.
Although it's always nice to see you folks.
Okay. Item number 5, approve and accept the joint meeting minutes from Monday, September 26, 2022, and the minutes from our public meeting, public hearing, on Monday, October 3rd, 2022. What's your pleasure with the minutes?
I'll move that we approve the minutes from Monday, September 26th and October 3rd. As presented.
I'll second the motion.
Okay, the motion has been made and seconded. Any discussion on the minutes?
No.
Corrections?
You're
Okay.
good.
All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion's carried unanimously. Item number 6, approve and accept our village warrants through Thursday, October 6th, 2022.
I move that we accept the warrants through Thursday, October 6th.
And I'll second.
Okay, the motion has been made and seconded to approve and accept our village warrants through October 6th. Any discussions, questions?
Not this
Come on,
time.
Adam.
Not this time, I'm
There.
sorry.
Okay.
They're all okay.
Okay, with that being said, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
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 Those opposed, motion is carried unanimously. Item number 7, discussion on new dates for Gathering of the Realms events. I think we have somebody who wants to say something about that now. Go ahead.
Thank you, President Smear. Good evening, one and all. We had planned to have Gathering of the Realms this year. Due to logistics, we were not able to, so we have tentatively reserved the dates through the rec department so that people would be coming on site the 9th. The event would be the 10th and the 11th, with everything leaving the 12th. The only difference is from going 2022 to 2023. Everything else is as planned, and I'm happy to field any questions anyone would like, if I have your permission to continue.
Which month?
I apologize, September.
September 9th through 12th, 2020.
Same weekend, it's just it's off by one date because of difference in the years.
Yeah, that makes sense.
9 through 12. September.
2023. Was there a problem getting things together, or
There was
Just-
a little bit of,
a lot of stuff going on that,
yeah, a lot of a learning curve. The insurances for event is completely different. So I had to educate myself, and the Swanton Arts Council, we had a lot of discussions as to, the type of insurance, who's to pay for the insurance and stuff like that, as well as once things finally got to the point where I was comfortable that the village would be completely covered, that's, the Arts Council would be completely covered, that the town would be completely covered. We ended up with only 8 weeks to locate volunteers, and this is a very large event which will need quite a few volunteers.
So it will be the same type program next
Yep.
year?
Our entertainers and vendors will come in, they have the availability to come in Friday the day before or Saturday morning. We would run the same time, 9 to 5, have the community meal, either a bonfire or possible fireworks for the end of Saturday, and then again Sunday, 9 to 5, with everyone leaving Sunday night by Monday. You've got the extended time for dropping in of trash receptacles and restrooms and such, and then they're removal of it.
Okay, good. That's great.
That seems fine with me.
So, okay, anybody have any questions, more questions? Okay, well, thanks for updating us, and let us know if there's anything we can do
Certainly.
to help you out.
I did attend the select board meeting via Zoom last week, and they actually officially made a vote on it to continue to allow it. Do you need to do that as well, or is everything applicable as
I
stands?
think we're good, just we'll add it as a park event. Right, just in, at the rec field, just put it on
We'll
there.
just note it in the minutes that the board approves the event and.
Yeah,
We've approved the change of time, we've approved the date change. We've already approved the event,
Yeah,
Yeah,
right,
so we just simply approved the date change, that's all.
prove the date change, yeah.
And just for logistics, just mark it somewhere that we, when it starts to come up, we remember.
Okay, and I'm sure you'll be back before the event, so.
Oh, trust me,
perhaps.
I will be back, but I will wait until everything settles after March. I don't
Okay.
wanna take the vote.
Okay,
You guys got a lot of stuff coming up between now and then,
yeah,
but
I'm
I will
sure.
be back to get full participation, don't worry, Neil.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
I thank you very much, gentlemen.
Item number 8, Swanton Village PD update. I think our chief is here to update us.
Yeah, so you'll see you have 2 packets in front of you. One is for just the village summary, and the other is the combination between the village and the town. So in the month of September for the village, the 10 most common call types were suspicious people, 17, foot patrols, 12, traffic stops, 9, motor vehicle complaints, 6, community outreach, 6, citizen assist, 5, property watches, 4, agency assist, 4, unlawful mischief, 3, and background investigation, 3. 96 incidents total, 9 traffic stops. There was 1 ticket and 9 warnings issued out of those traffic stops, and 1 arrest for the month. Looking at the combination of the village and the town, you had 26 traffic stops total. And again, looking at the most common call types, 25 suspicious people, 13 foot patrols, 12 agency assists, 12 juvenile problems, 10 motor vehicle complaints, 8 community outreach, 7 citizen assists, 7 welfare checks, and 5 threatening complaints. 179 incidents total, 22 tickets, 22, and you'll see in the later pages, it's a breakdown of the tickets themselves. But 22 tickets and warnings were issued, 2 tickets, 20 warnings, 4 arrests total. The other thing that I have is that we are gonna onboard a new hire in a part-time position. He's another highly experienced officer who has experience at multiple different agencies. He's an emergency medicine trainer, he's a firearms instructor. He's got quite a good background, a local guy who went to BFA. So it's gonna be another really good hire. And I'm very excited about that. Another thing we're focused on right now is drug issues. It seems like there's been an uptick over the last couple months. They kind of tamped down with the incident from the beginning of last year here on First Street. It seemed like there was a little less activity. We ended up doing our work. So in any case, we're aware of the locations and we're working with multiple different agencies to address the issues. And hopefully we're gonna see some progress there over the end of the year and beginning of the new year. And the other thing I'd like to mention is that it was interesting, it came up in the emergency management meeting, is the rail trail. And I hadn't realized this previously or thought about this, but the rail trail, as far as access to the rail trail in an emergency situation, rendering somebody aid and removing them from the rail trail if they require that. There's very limited equipment to do that. We don't really have equipment to do that. I realize certain individuals certainly do. And I guess that's what's been called on previously when there's been issues on the rail trail, but it was something that struck me as a possible need for the village to have some sort of equipment to get on the rail trail, if need be. Especially as it opens up now that the project is pretty much coming to completion as far as the network goes up in this area. Linking Swanton to Lamoille and then you know, it's quite a large piece of trail.
Is each town responsible for their section of the rail trail, or where's the state?
Essentially, I mean, I think in an emergency situation, they would probably call on whoever the closest authority is who could actually assist in a circumstance like that. So in the wintertime, there's a lot of snowmobile traffic. And now that it's opened up more, I've seen a lot of people, pedestrians out there on the trail walking. I'm sure there'll be more cyclists and that sort of thing, and possibly ATV use, although I don't know, you know, whether or not they're supposed to actually do that. But certainly you'll probably see that. The other thing that we've had is, was brought to my attention in the town select board meeting, was a local individual who was homeless. He's been sleeping at the library. We've addressed it multiple times. I addressed it again this morning. He is very polite, very cooperative. I am working on trying to get him assistance and find him some housing. But we did trespass him from the library steps this morning.
Yeah.
So, and then there's been also brought up in the select board meeting as far as activity. I guess it was a youth event at the library one night, and there was a lot of activity in the parking lot, so that's another thing that's on our radar.
Have you noticed anything going on Sunday mornings in the park? There's been a few times over the last month we've seen people sleeping on the benches and overnight, Saturday night into Sunday.
No, I've not. That hasn't been called to my attention.
Okay.
I'll have to check with the guys who are working the weekend shifts. So right now, as far as the shifts go, the Saturday and Sunday mornings are generally the only open shifts that we have that are filled kind of randomly with whoever selects to work it. So I would have to, you know, those type of calls would probably fall under suspicious persons calls if we've had them. So I'd have to do a little more research to see exactly what we've responded to.
Yeah. I thought it was just a one-off or maybe a two-off. You know, I saw it, I think 3 of the last 5 weeks. I didn't see anything this past weekend. So, you know, of course it was cold.
Getting colder.
It's getting colder, you know. So, but just to bring it to your attention, that's all. For the public, if you see something, say something,
Yeah.
please.
Chief, I see there's a lot of both the village and the town, suspicious people. Can you know about where they're from, or are they?
No, I mean, so
Are they, just transients, or are they from Franklin County, or?
no, but there again, that general call type it's almost a catch-all. If people don't really know exactly what they're looking at, a lot of times it'll be flagged as a suspicious person's call.
Yeah.
So I can give you an example. Is I received a call yesterday while I was working from somebody over at McDonald's, and they were very disturbed. I believe it was yesterday or Friday. They were very disturbed by the fact that there was an individual over in the McDonald's parking lot walking around, videotaping the whole parking lot, and it looked like taking photos. They got a very good description of the vehicle. The vehicle was labeled with property management. I reached out to the owner and I asked them, you know, what they were up to, explained that we had a complaint about the activity, that it was suspicious, and it was more or less what I gathered it would be. He said that they're in charge of property management for that facility, and they like to document exactly the way things were before snowfall and after snowfall at the end of the year.
Yeah.
So that's what he was doing.
Okay. Okay. Any other questions?
All right,
You don't have any questions? No. Okay, well, thank you very much, Chief.
Thank you, Chief.
And the drug trafficking, that's picking up slightly, you said? Or-
It seems like it. There's been a lot of rental vehicles in and out,
Yeah,
occupied by people who are not from the area, they're from out of state, as best we can gather. And so we've been doing some information gathering and intelligence gathering. And then the guys have really been focusing on some of these problem locations. And I addressed one, you know, and the issue is that with a lot of these things, you know, they're related to substance use disorder. And so there's one individual who I reached out to, it was last week. We had multiple incidents we responded to, technically in the town. We were assisting, it butts up against the village though, we were assisting state police with those incidents. And it was a location that I was aware of previously, and I had a frank conversation with the tenant, and I said, listen, there's one of two ways to go about this. I would like to see you get help, and that's the best way to go about addressing the issue, but the other way is if you don't choose to seek help, and I will try to help you and connect you with services so that you get wraparound services to assist with the issue, then we're gonna take a law enforcement angle to this and be very aggressive with that.
yeah.
So
And
hopefully it's gonna work out positively. I managed to link her with a lot of social services and somebody who can really try to follow through and guide her through that whole process.
Okay, good. Next item on the agenda this evening, discussion on curb cut at 19 and 21 First Street.
That's the one just up from York. It's Don Collins' property. He's been asking about this for, I don't know, I guess maybe a year or so now.
What's he want, curb cut there?
So he wants to add a driveway, basically is to help improve, he wants to help improve better parking. Because right now, if he has to access the building, the cars are always in the way. Then he wants to be able to access his storage building out back from that, and it's not for business, so it's for private use. Because you know, he has that antique shop that's out back.
Isn't this a zoning issue?
So I checked zoning, and obviously I'm on the board, and I discussed it with Amy. And basically, this is access to town highways is subject to the approval of the Swanton Select Board Chair, Road Commissioner, and Road Foreman. Access onto village highways is subject to the approval of the village manager and Public Works Director. So for state highways, the agency of Vermont Agency of Transportation, I already discussed it with them, and they said it's up to you, up to us. So
Where is this? I'm not putting two and two.
We met at the old place where the Swans were.
Oh, where he has the,
When he has all the stuff outside.
the weekly yard sale
Yeah, he has a yard sale there all the time.
every week.
Does he have a permit for that, by the way?
he's not having yard sales anymore.
I was gonna bring that up. But thank you, you
You're welcome.
already taken care of it.
Not me, but it was taken care of.
Okay, somebody did.
So it's up to us to
Approve the curb cut, yeah,
approve or disapprove.
yes.
What are your feelings on this, gentlemen?
I would probably just follow along with the manager and the Public Works. It really, 6 1/2 doesn't bother me.
So he wants to
according to the
He wants to cut
regulations.
a driveway
Yep.
in off of First Street.
It sounds from the law that you and the, street department have the authority to do this.
Yep.
You want us to bless it as
Yes.
well?
Because it is kind of, we haven't had a curb cut on the First Street in forever. So just want you folks to be aware of it before all of a sudden we have it, so.
Once in a while, they just show up.
Yep.
I know,
Are you gonna put it in a specific spot?
center,
Yeah, well, it'll be probably, I'll have to see where he wants to put it. We've gotta look out for, property setbacks and stuff for neighboring properties.
It's an intersection,
So
that
he-
intersection there.
Yeah, it'll be up further from York,
I'm assuming he wants to curb cut on First.
yes.
Why doesn't he put it on York?
He's already got one there.
Farther up though.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean, cut down at the lower end of York or the
I think-
northern end.
I'd
if
be
you
too
wish.
close to the intersection to have a curb cut on Broadway, or
York,
York.
The thing with that property is he rents the house, but he owns the garage. So his tenant is probably accessing the York Street driveway, and he wants to access his property from First Street.
Yeah, it's a
Sort
better,
of interfering with the tenant.
it's a better explanation.
clearer,
That's all one piece of real estate though.
Yeah,
I think so.
that's accessible from both streets.
Okay. Well, the street department doesn't have a problem with it, I guess I don't. You talked it over with Dean,
Yeah, we've talked to great length.
so who puts it there?
He
The
does.
village?
No, he does.
Okay. So it's not
According to
costing us
where you and Dean will.
Yeah.
And if it's not there, if it's not in that spot, then
Yeah, and then he'll have to follow all the widths and, requirements and that kind of stuff, so
Yeah.
we'll get with him.
I'm assuming it'll be paved.
I doubt it.
Is it required to be paved?
There's nothing in the DRB rules that requires it to be paved,
Okay.
being a private driveway.
Okay. Be nice if it was paved, that's all. Look good, for the village.
Okay?
Yeah.
Item number 10, approve amended warning resolution and declaration of official intent for the Missisquoi Waterline Project.
So, yeah, basically this was just, boy, I'm trying to think of what she needed it for.
So.
The cost,
Cost changed.
The amount changed, so I know Lynn's on if she wants to say something, but 2 weeks ago when you guys approved it, it was the $900,000 that's gonna be on the ballot.
Yeah.
Aldrich and Elliott contacted Lynn and said that was incorrect. It's $1.2 million that needed to be on the ballot
yeah,
for approval. And that is, still, everyone will be entitled to the grants and the, I don't know if it's necessarily ARPA funds, but,
No, it would, that's part of the grant, they give the 50% forgiveness on it.
yeah.
But the boring, that was an adder, having to put the barge in the river and do the boring in the river to see what the ledge was like. And they did that last week, yeah. So that wasn't in there. So to make sure everything is covered, it's 1.2.
now, has the warning actually been changed?
So I had posted it all around, but we still have time to meet all the requirements for, the public hearing that will be held on November 1st, voting on November 8th during the general election.
That's fine.
So if you give me I need 3, motions, like we did the last meeting.
Three motions?
It's, yeah, complicated. So I need, a motion for the declaration of an official intent.
I'll move.
I'll second.
And I need a motion for the resolution certificate.
I move.
And I second.
And I need a motion to approve the warning,
Amended one.
the amended warning, from 900,000 to 1.2 million.
I approve.
I second.
Okay, so we have three motions. We're gonna vote on them all at once, because they all pertain to the same thing, so. All those in favor of the three motions that we have just stated, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, there's no opposition, so we've approved the three
Yeah.
motions.
And they'll be clearly typed out in the minutes, so everyone can read.
Okay,
By the way, you're still gonna need help on the 8th?
So, no, we're pretty good.
Okay, let me know
Yep,
if
we're
you're.
good.
Good.
Thank you.
does that sound okay, Lynn?
Yeah, it does. The 900,000 came from Aldrich and Elliott. And they sent me a message with an updated number last week. That's why we had it changed.
Right. Okay,
We understand.
item number 11, authorize village manager to sign Vermont Municipal Bond Bank application for unspent loan proceeds and authorize assistant village manager to close hydro checking account. We already talked about this.
Yep.
The last meeting, I think.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
That's the electric.
Yeah.
Department.
Yeah, those are the extra funds, right, Lynn, for the bladder?
Yeah, there's about 92 or 95,000 that was unspent. And what they're gonna do is, because right now they're showing a debt of 2.2 million, they'll apply that 90+ thousand dollars against our principal payments. And also we have about $3,000 left in that checking account, that we will close and put back into the general fund, or our general checking. And that's just, the 3,000 came from money that we had drawn down to reimburse for expenses that we had paid out of the general checking account. So we'll get that account closed out and the bond stuff straightened out, and we should be good to go by the end of the year for the audit.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. So, we need a motion to authorize the two people to do what we're stating here.
I'll make the motion, we authorize the village manager to sign the Vermont Municipal Bond Bank application for unspent loan proceeds, and to authorize the assistant village manager to close the hydro checking account.
I second the motion.
Okay, the motion has been made and seconded. Any discussion? Seems like we've already discussed it, so all those in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion's carried unanimously. Thank you. Item number 12, authorize the Village of Swanton to purchase 2022 Vermont Transco equity offer and to also purchase any unsubscribed units. So,
Lynn's
This
gonna
is
get this one.
something we've done in the past 2 or 3, 4,
Yeah.
5 years.
yeah, we've done that.
I had a question,
So,
Lynn.
okay.
Did we ever have the chance to purchase any of the unclaimed ones?
Yes, we always
Yeah,
put in there that we will purchase unsubscribed units. This is come from is, 10 years ago, Vermont Electric Co-op, municipal equity for specific facilities. So how that works is they have this specific facilities, equity for 10 years, and then Transco re-offers that out to all the utilities. So that's what it is. Our portion is pretty small. It's like 8,200, I believe. And most likely will be unsubscribed units. That's why I asked they used to do a payable ratio share. We get about an 11% rate of return on this, so good investment, and it keeps us getting dividends back. Per year, like right now, we get over $300,000 in dividends from Elko and Inco a year.
So again, how much was this equity call? You keep breaking out.
Yeah, I don't have great internet. I think it's like 8,200.
Okay,
$8,680.
okay,
There you go.
thank you.
Okay, I'll make the motion to authorize the Village of Swanton to purchase 2022 Vermont equity offer and to also purchase any of subscribed lots.
And I'll second.
Okay, the motion has been made and seconded. Any discussion?
We made good money on this, actually.
Yeah. Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, that motion's carried unanimously too, so. Item number 13, approve the town of Highgate's water and wastewater allocation for the airport, Highgate Airport upgrade.
Yeah, so you have to go into water commissioners?
Yes.
Nope. Yep.
Yes. I move that we move into a meeting of the water commissioner.
And I'll second.
Okay, motion has been made and seconded to go into water commissioners, meeting to handle this affair. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, we are in water commissioners meeting.
So can you read the letter, Diane,
Yeah.
please?
So this is just stating the Village of Swanton, in support of the Highgate Water and Sewer Project, would like to state that our system has plenty of capacity within both our production of water and discharge capacity of treated wastewater within our existing permits. The anticipated startup is expected to be water for the initial year up at the airport, 1325 gallons per day. The design year will end up being 14,240 gallons per day. Wastewater initial year, 1,210 gallons per day, and the design year, 16,140 gallons per day. So it just says that the village is capable of handling that supply.
So that's like one of those, cross the T's, dot the I's that we needed to have for this project.
It's a guarantee that we're gonna be able to supply
It's the
the amount of
official,
water that they want.
the official request.
Yeah.
I make a motion that we approve the request as requested.
And I'll second.
Okay, the motion has been made and seconded to approve our water and wastewater allocation to Highgate. Any discussion?
Just,
Question.
yeah, go ahead.
Do we have anything in writing with regards to if they put some sort of microbrew up there?
We don't, but water allocation and sewer allocation would have to be pre-approved according to our agreement.
Okay,
So anything that goes in would have to get prior approval.
okay. That's all I had.
Gene, do you wanna say something?
Yes, I think construction is scheduled for next summer.
Yep.
Just for information.
So you notice in the paper that Highgate was awarded the EDA grant with our sign-on as a co-applicant.
Right.
Yes,
1.5.
I think so. Yep.
That's
very
great.
good.
Nice work. Nice work.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor, to approve the water allocation. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
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 Those opposed, no opposition, motion's carried. So we have to sign that approval or?
Authorized me.
Reggie will, yeah.
Okay, good. Okay, glad to see that moving forward with so much outside support,
Yeah.
so.
Oh, we gotta come out.
Yep, motion to come out of the water commissioners.
Second?
Motion's been made and seconded to come out of our water commissioners meeting and back into our regular meeting. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion's carried. We're back in our regular meeting. And
Forget any other necessary business.
that's not in there.
No.
All
So,
right.
do we have any other necessary business to discuss?
I got nothing tonight.
You don't?
Oh,
I
boy.
got nothing.
I don't.
Oh, sorry.
So, Gene, and hopefully, I haven't heard, but I hope Chris, came out well on his surgery. I'm
Yep.
sure he'll be out and about before too long, but,
Based on the last case, he was out the next day.
yeah, right. And, I'd just like to put in a plug for Merchants Row. We have a new business, Divine Treasures in, the Masonic Building. And we also have a new, not quite so new business, Vision Nutrition. And Swan House of Pizza is going strong. And Scampers is still,
Plugging
Maryland's
away.
busy as usual.
Yeah.
So it's pretty encouraging to see Merchants Row, busy again. And hopefully, next year we can go ahead with our streetscapes with at least part of that improvement there, so. But, yeah, welcome to Swanton Village downtown.
Amen.
And, I commend the other businesses, the other small businesses there for welcoming the new business, Darcy and Bees on Broadway and everybody else down there, so. And Scampers and Vision Nutrition, they all put some pluses in for the grand opening, so.
Nice.
So, good to see, and Gordon is, moving ahead with his building. I see they're close to putting some glass in the old theater building, downtown, and that's looking real good too, so. Anyway, I guess enough said, but it's just encouraging to see that. Maybe by the end of the winter, we can clean up South River Street too.
Perhaps.
Reggie made a promise, so we're gonna hold him to it, so. So,
We'll get her done.
yeah. Okay, that being said, item number 14.
I have one thing,
Oh, you do?
just to mention our agency FERC visit last week.
Oh, yes,
Was it last week or the week before?
Week before.
week before, yeah.
They all roll in together. But FERC had come in to do a scoping study on our hydro relicensing, and we had to follow our, just basically how we operate. We did a site visit and talk about our PMEs, which is our prevention, mitigation, and enhancement measures with the agencies to renew our license. And that morning session went until around 4:30. And then we had another one that evening at 7. And that was a public meeting, and not many public showed up, but we had another presentation and for the evening meeting, so.
Yeah.
Thoughts on how it went?
We had a lot of positive inputs from local businesses, Vermont Precision Tools wrote a nice letter of support. The town select board wrote a nice letter of support. Our bag manufacturer wrote a letter just basically stating, that it's not recommended that we have a continuous flow over the bladder, especially in the wintertime, because it's detrimental to the bag's safety if we have to deflate it.
Yeah.
So FERC was pretty interested in that letter.
I was too. I liked it.
Yeah. I think overall, the agencies were quiet.
They were gathering information.
Yep.
Not in their defense or anything, but that's what they were here for. They wanted to see what it was, what they were working on, and I think they got a good view of everything.
I think so.
I was impressed. I didn't go to the early meeting, I went to the 7 o'clock meeting. I was impressed, by the FERC people, how knowledgeable they were and how they enlightened me to many things, so, related to the approval process. So they listened. I mean, some people listened and other people's listen and hear. I think these people listened and heard what
Yeah.
we had to say. They were very, very.
This is an extended process, right? I mean, it's every 30 years, 40 years, whatever, so chances of one manager seeing it in their career is, very limited.
Yeah.
So I happen to be the lucky one that drew the straw for this one. But, we'll get through it one way
And
or
we're
another.
thankful. We're thankful.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes, we are.
Yeah, and the discussion that they brought up, I hadn't realized, was the length of licensing that you could renew for 20 years, 40 years, up to 50 years?
Yeah, I
wasn't it?
believe it's up to 50.
So, that was interesting.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I agree, they were very knowledgeable and they were very helpful too.
Yeah.
You know, they understand that, you know, not everybody is as succinct in the process just because of the length of the licensing. I think our agency, our Becky was really good at what she presented in the morning meeting. And yeah, I think we've got a good team behind us working on this project.
Good. Okay,
And that's it for that.
that's it?
Yeah.
Anybody else want to say anything before we go into executive session? If not, I'll entertain a motion to go into executive session to discuss personnel and real estate.
So move.
I'll second.
Motion's been made and seconded to go into executive session to discuss personnel and real estate. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Okay, we're in executive session.